The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, at least 3 officers injured during a major fire on East-West Highway late this morning. In fact, that fire is still going on right now. The explosion so severe, it damaged a fire truck as well. ACP Marino Hines, head of the Royal Bahamas Police Force's Fire Services, is here this evening. Also tonight, history for the Bahamas. Aisha Bowe, a former NASA scientist, was part of an all-woman team to exit the Earth's orbit today. Leslie Miller, please stand up. And Dr. Min is saying a lot, yet nothing. In a news release, he insists he is an F&M and always will be. But Doc, here are a couple of questions for you. Are you running as an independent? Are you abiding by the party's decision to not run? Make your intentions clear. Stand on business, sir. And imagine making $2 an hour. That's right, it's not make-believe. It's real life for a group of Bahamians working on Great Stirrup Key. We'll hear from them coming up. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Plumes of smoke and balls of fire stained the sky in the area of Marathon Road and East-West Highway this afternoon. In fact, right at this moment, the fire caused a gridlock and confusion on nearby busy highway. Investigators are still working to determine the cause of the blaze. Delano Roca has been on the scene for most of the day, and he has this report.
3 officers received injury. 2 of them are at the hospital, and we're waiting for another 2 be transported to hospital. Those injuries at this time, I'm told, are minor injuries. So at present, we have all of our on and off-duty officers. So we've called in all of our fire officers to this scene today. So we have approximately 60, 70 officers on this scene, along with 7 from the airport. And then, of course, the Defense Force is now deploying assistance here for us. They are still working as hard as they can to control this fire. There is lots of fire in the building. And of course, you can see the smoke that is emanating from the building. We have officers to the back, to the rear of the building, and at the front of the building. So we're working.
Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles confirming that the Royal Bahamas Police Force continues to beef up its fire response capacity, investing in new equipment amid a troubling surge in structural fires across New Providence. Today's incident, a powerful blast at the southern wing of the Hyacinth building, ignited a raging fire that sent plumes of black smoke into the air and rattled the busy commercial district. The intensity of the blast forced authorities to block off access to parts of the East-West Highway out of fear that the fire could spread or trigger another explosion, leaving hundreds stranded in traffic and others watching in shock from nearby stores. Knowles also praised the coordination of emergency teams and assistance from local business owners, saying community response has been crucial in recent fire emergencies.
We are using the equipment that we have to battle all the fires that come to us. Our partners from the community. If you've seen in Grand Bahama about 2 weeks ago, we were able to use the airport resources. We were able to use the container port and the shipyard and also B&B Galaxy. And I think we did not say thanks to them at that time, so I'm using this opportunity to say thank you to those who partnered with us as we battled those blazes in Grand Bahama. And here in Nassau, as you can see, we have the airport here assisting us. We are looking at new equipment. I've traveled about a month ago to look at the possibility of acquiring new equipment. My minister stands here with me, and he assures me that the government is working with me to acquire those vehicles as soon as possible.
But the blaze has dealt a devastating blow to the Hyacinth complex, which was set to welcome multiple ministry departments in the coming weeks. Minister of Labour, Pierre Glover-Roll, says those relocation plans are now on hold after the building suffered severe exterior damage and even impacted neighbouring structures, including Solomon Supercentre.
The Ministry of Labour and Public Service serves as the landlord for the government. So we have responsibility, my ministry has responsibility for all buildings. The Department of Labour was one of the ministries that would have been moving into this building, along with the Department of Immigration, DRM, the Disaster Authority. None of the ministries have moved in officially yet. The Department of Labour was in a closer proximity to moving in. We have had furniture installed and there are some files are in the building. But fortunately, there are no staff that occupy the building. We were on our final, those staff that were present were on our final walkthrough this morning in preparation for move-in. And that was about 10 persons. And of course, they were able to evacuate safely and remove themselves from the building.
Glover-Roll also revealed that the lease agreement for the government's occupancy will now have to be reevaluated as structural integrity and safety measures come under new scrutiny.
The ministry doesn't make an investment. This is a building that would be rented by the government, which would be leased, and that would be a rental agreement. And we have started paying the rent because, of course, we were beginning to occupy the building. So now that would need to be reviewed as the building is brought back to its full state.
Well, that certainly presents a significant delay for what was to be just an amazing thing to bring those ministries, several of them, in fact, and government agencies under one department. Many people were looking forward for that, like a one-stop shop type thing. Really awesome. But what is the status of the fire? What are the conditions of those officers injured earlier today? How are they doing this evening? We're going to get the latest this evening. Joining me right now is Assistant Commissioner of Police Maureen Hines, who is in charge of the Royal Bahamas Police Force's Fire Services Division. Good evening to you, ACP. It's good to have you here. You had a very long and busy day.
Yes.
In fact, night.
Absolutely. From morning, rather, into the evening. And thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for even taking these few moments to come with us, because I know your officers are still out there. We reported initially, and you heard in that news story, 3 officers injured. I understand that's since been increased?
Yes. My understanding is we have 6 officers who suffered minor injuries. The injuries extending to second-degree burns. All of the officers were treated at our local hospital, and I'm happy to report that they were discharged.
They are all home nursing those wounds?
Yes, they all were discharged.
Second-degree burns are still, obviously a lot of pain and nothing to take lightly.
Right.
It is obviously a very dangerous fire that's happened, and coupled with the explosion that took place, I understand even a fire truck was damaged. But certainly back to your officers and their state. Have you spoken with them to how they're doing?
Yes, we've spoken to several of them actually on the scene. EMS treated them on the scene, and our fire director, who is Chief Superintendent Morris, he spoke with them. They are in good spirits. However, out of an abundance of caution, we allowed them to go to the hospital where they would receive professional help.
Which is quite wise and smart. And I know that the fire services in particular can ill afford to have any officer out at this moment, because so much is going on, not just this fire, but we'll get to that in a little bit of, we see all the brush fires and everything, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let's go back to this fire. It's still burning, I'm told.
Yes, the fire is burning in pockets. As you have stated, that structure houses several departments. It houses Solomon Supercentre, it houses Cosrite, the Department of Labour, also DRM, Disaster Risk Management, was supposed to go in there, and of course Immigration. And so that building is thousands of square feet.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it's a very huge building. And so the fire is smoldering in pockets, and there is still some active fire throughout the building. But mostly what you would see now is a whole lot of smoke.
And then there's the damage, and we heard the minister talk about structural concerns now and the damage that comes from that. Just really a significant loss and setback. What is the status of? Has Solomon Supercentre been totally destroyed, or what is the status there?
Well, the entire structure is compromised from fire, smoke, and of course water now. from our efforts. But when there is a fire, there is intense heat, and that can compromise, trapped in a building, and that can compromise any structure, any material, including steel. And so the entire building has to be reassessed because the integrity of the building has been compromised.
And so in your expert opinion and analysis, you would think that just depending on the severity of the damage that we're talking about, and you mentioned the steel and all the rest of it, that possibly it may have to be imploded or demolished?
I'm going to leave that to the experts. But what I would say is, that the intention of the building, that is no longer the status quo. Because of the fire and, like I said, the smoke, and just burning, a lot of stuff burned today. The building suffered extensive damage from the southern end to the northern end.
It's quite unfortunate. Any idea at this early stage what was the cause of the fire?
Preliminarily, of course, we're still actively investigating this matter. We believe that there was some leakage of some accelerant, possibly diesel, which burned and which caused, in our industry, something we call BLEVE, which is boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. And so some would have seen an explosion today. That was the occurrence of fire meeting accelerants and gases, and you saw a mushroom in the sky. And once that liquid becomes so hot, that spreads throughout the building, and it's easily inflamed, which spread throughout the building.
Would anybody be held responsible for this, or it's just an unfortunate accident?
It's too early to say. The investigations would bear that out. But preliminarily, we're looking at a leakage, and we are not necessarily looking at anybody at this time as far as holding responsible for the fire.
Wow. Let's move on to what has now become fire season in the Bahamas. Brush fires all over. Here in New Providence, on the Family Islands, Grand Bahama, the commissioner just referred to that, to the Grand Bahama fire, I think it was last week. This is a real season now in the Bahamas. Before we would watch television and see the news in various states in the United States where it happened. Right. It's a reality here.
Yes.
What is the game plan headed into the hottest months of the year from your area? To be able to quickly, I guess, get to a fire, maybe, I don't know, maybe watering very often, those very vulnerable areas. What's the game plan?
Well, as you have stated, Ms. Miller, from January, rather, to September is considered brush fire season. The summer months, we give that a different categorization. But for now, we're into brush fire season. And the game plan certainly is prevention. We would not want any of our green spaces, vegetations to burn. However, through human error and sometimes acts of nature, we see fires. And in our business, we categorize them into three main categories. One is unintentional. The other is intentional but not criminal. And then obviously, intentional, which is criminal, which we categorize as arson. And so sometimes people, they start fires inadvertently, throwing cigarettes and the like. Some people light fires to cook and for other means, and they don't pay attention to their fires, and they result in major brush fires.
We saw a few of them, especially on the Family Islands, started with people, doing something that's like tried and true in the Bahamas, burning trash.
Yes.
Speak to that and let people know what the law is as it relates to that.
Absolutely. Where at all possible, we would not want our citizenry to burn fires in heavily vegetated areas, because what is present is what we call fuel. In those areas, those vegetation, they include pine and thatch, and they are highly combustible, and that creates the fuel. And when that meets heat and oxygen, it is very easy to sustain a fire or create a fire. And so we don't want our residents, if at all possible, to burn and light these fires in the wooded areas, because you may think you have the fire under control, and all it takes is an ember, just a spark, and we already have the fuel necessary to create a fire, a large fire, as we have seen.
I thank you very much, Assistant Commissioner of Police Moreno Hines, from the head of the Royal Bahamas Police Forces Fire Division. Safety for the remainder of the season for you and your team, and obviously prayers and thoughts with those officers injured today. Happy that their injuries are not life-threatening. Thank you for stopping by this evening.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Beyond the Headlines, we'll be back right after this break. Stay close.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Security Depot makes shopping in the Bahamas easy. Shop the latest appliances, electronics, furniture, gadgets, toys, and so much more on our website, securitydepot242.com. See an item you like? Simply click on it, move to cart, and check out with the option of in-store pickup or home delivery. Endless possibilities are at securitydepot242.com.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Legends of Breakin' Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Mac, Sweet Emily, Simeon Outen, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bookie Brand at the Beauty Shack, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th, come by Bo and play and experience the legends of Breakin' Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shack, Bahamas Inn, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits. Attention Bahamas! Get ready to link up in Eleuthera. Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, Colette, Bahamas Inn, and the Rock Sound Homecoming Committee present KB and Friends Boatman Show, April 18th and 19th in beautiful Rock Sound, Eleuthera, at the Homecoming site, 8 April 18th, experience the boatman himself, KB. Mama D, Colin McDonald, and the Falcons. April 19th, the vibes keep going with Ancient Man, Fanchon, Terrero, Keisha, and the King of the South, Abby. With music by DJ Rad, Pop Style, DJ Lodge, and DJ Andy. Don't miss the Boatman Easter Weekend concert. Book your flights, rooms, and rentals now. For info, email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Telephone 558-3804. Don't miss the ultimate Boatman concert. See you in Eleuthera, April 18th and 19th.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you join us. Of course, we apologize for our late start, but hey, listen, let's get right into it. Of course, we saw at the top of tonight's show in the first segment, Assistant Commissioner of Police Marino Hines join us, of course, who is the head of the Royal Bahamas Police Force's Fire Services, and talked about the fact that there are actually more than 3 officers who were injured, about second-degree burns. In fact, they've all been treated, and they are now at home. A total of 6 officers. That fire is still burning in pockets, as he said, and that huge complex there. And of course, investigations have yet to begin. It's too early to determine anything, how it started or anything, but certainly, of course, a very serious fire. Well, we're going to jump in right there this evening with the Hot Topics panelists. Welcome this evening, Leslie Miller and Ellington Ferguson. Good evening to you, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Good evening. It's good to be here. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
Gentlemen, just very briefly, if we can start right at that fire. It just unfortunate. I don't know if you all drove any time throughout that area or tried to get by because it was just gridlock. But what a loss and a setback, because this was really to be a hub of government offices and agencies and departments, and now that's at a standstill.
It is a very unfortunate situation. Of course, when I heard about it, I immediately stayed away from the area, so I didn't even get close in that area today. I heard about the road block and everything. As a matter of fact, at one point, not only was it blocked, the whole portion of the highway was shut down. And so, yes, this is very unfortunate. It's a major setback for those businesses in that building. Solomon's has been a staple up in that area for Bahamians who lost, like our mini Walmart. And then, of course, a major setback for the government, who was in the process of putting those various offices in there, creating a one-stop shop sort of thing as relates to the Labor Department and all those other areas. And more than anything, the officers that went to assist that got injured in the line of duty, we pray for their continued and speedy recovery and that it be well with them. This is one of the challenges you have when you have these type of fires. You know, but they become unpredictable, and with the mixture of gases and then a little wind to fuel that, anything can happen. And so these officers are always in jeopardy. There's always a hazard. They always are putting themselves on the line for us. And so we are grateful to them and hope that they be well. Certainly, that the fire department has got to be there for most of the night, as you hear him talk about various pockets that still exist, and they will flare up. When you see, once there is still strong smoke, those pockets can still flare up during the course if they're left unattended or if you don't continue to watch them. So I'm sure that our officers will be there during the course of the night until they can get that to a smoldering standstill.
I spent about an hour and a half there at the fire site this morning, midday. It was a very ferocious fire. Started the rear of the building on the southeastern side of the building. And about half hour later, it went to the western side of the building, southwest side of the building, where just a ferocious fire came out through one of the windows. Then it headed back on the other side to the east. when it came to the northern side of the building. Just, you know, it's a terrible, terrible situation. But what was most amazing and most frightening, there's about 60 of us in the industrial park on the southern side, the rear of the building. We were about 200 yards away from the fire. And a gentleman who was there doing some work had told us that there was some canisters, some heavy canisters on the second floor where they were doing some work, and also some putting in some air-conditioned Freon and what have you in the machines. And all there was two massive explosions. I mean, boom, boom, went straight through the roof, I'd say about 50 to 100 feet up in the roof, and then the fire started coming after us. I mean, for about 200 yards, the fire was shooting at about 80 miles an hour. We were on the southwestern side of the park, in the back of the building. And the fire came straight towards us, about 50 of us had to run like hell down by the graveyard to get out of the way, because we thought the cars were going to burn up. Because my car was only about 200 feet from the fire. I mean, I've never seen that before in my entire life. You know, when you see these rush of fire. Apparently there was some oxygen in some of the tanks. I mean, I've never seen that fire walk in the air. Never seen it before in my entire life. All of us, we were frightened to death. You know, and that went on for about 10, 15 minutes, then it just died down. And the smoke, Arnold Bean and I went there from the east-west highway. And when we got to the rear, man, the smoke was so terrible, just breathing in it was terrible smell and taste of the smoke. And it just smoke and smoke and smoke. In fact, when we left, it's still smoking now. It was a terrible ordeal. And that building would have been one of the prettiest buildings in this country. I mean, it's an amazing structure that they have put there. The architect is second to none. Just a wonderful structure. And I hope that they can get it back to its former frame that it was. Really beautiful.
Damage
one
beyond repair. They have to demolish it. Because like the inspectors speak to the fact that with that enormous amount of heat contained in there, the steel becomes softened, and all of that is possible. Anything, steel, concrete, wood, everything is compromised, and so they'll have to assess it.
180,000 square foot.
It's huge. I mean, to see it from the air, you know, you didn't get an appreciation just driving by, but it's an amazing complex.
Such a beautiful.
Yeah, and it was meant to just be obviously a first of its kind.
The interior is just as good as the exterior. You go inside, it's more beautiful inside than outside.
I can imagine.
Very
really
impressive
awesome.
building.
Well, Leslie Miller, you are on Front Street this evening. This is for you another historic moment for Bahamians in the history books tonight, as former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe made history as the first Bahamian to visit outer space after the 10-minute flight on Blue Origin. Shepard rocket launched from West Texas and successfully landed some 15 minutes later. Bowe, visibly overjoyed with emotion moments after she stepped out of the capsule, emphasized her dream is now a reality.
It's so beautiful, and it just fills the screen. And it's not just your window. It's like everybody's window, and there's no boundaries, there's no border. There's just Earth. Wow. It's incredible. I think he was like, woo! To have the opportunity to have flown his star in my flight bag and to have a perspective that very few people get to have of Earth, I just feel a renewed connection to everything in life and where we are, and I can't wait to go back out there and pour what I've learned into the world. Dream it, plan it, and go and do it. I never really thought I could go to space, although I really wanted to go. And today just confirmed that dreams are real and sometimes reality is wrong.
Today, we celebrate a proud and historic moment as Aisha Bowe becomes the first Bahamian to travel to space and one of just 10 black women in history to do so. She carries with her the dreams of a nation, as well as the legacy of the many trailblazing women who paved the way. Her mission is a powerful reminder that representation matters and that our stories and our brilliance are truly historic and worthy of being told. This moment transcends borders. Aisha's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, the pursuit of excellence, and the boundless possibilities of a vision made real. On behalf of the government and people of the Bahamas, We salute you, Aisha. May your voyage ignite inspiration for generations to come. Aisha, from our islands to the stars, the Bahamas is with you.
The Bahamas is with you, Aisha Bo. Very, very proud there in the first part of that soundbite. But anytime I want Leslie to get in there first because Leslie spoke about this lady before.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, I did. People should know that she is the beautiful granddaughter of Mr. Forrester Bo. Ooh, I didn't say she wasn't pretty. Oh, I said she was pretty. That's all I said. I didn't hit her.
Leslie, so you ain't say she wasn't pretty. Yes, but
that's all I said.
But she's pretty and that's fine.
She is, and Mr. Forrester Bo, my good buddy, like a dad to me. Very proud of her. One of my constituents used to be for many, many years. We have a good relationship like father and son. And she's very, very proud of her, his wife. Very proud.
Very good. Very good.
Proud. She's a wonderful job. We're very proud of you, madam. Now you're getting back to tourism, right?
Listen,
No.
But is she in tourism though?
No,
is
she's
she
not.
Or she's some sort of like, is she some sort of ambassador?
With the Elon Musk space program. She's actually employed there, working with that program. She was here during the first landing in
So why
the
did they help
orbit
her with the
zone.
tourism?
No,
Maybe she was just there as an advisor.
I think he's talking about someone else. She is not with tourism. She's working directly with.
That wasn't somebody else. I called her name.
No, he called her name. But I don't know. In any event, we're proud of
it.
Yeah, we're quite proud. But gentlemen, let's move this along. Again, congratulations, Aisha. Excellent job. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is speaking out after being sidelined by his party. In a statement released Sunday, Dr. Minnis expressed disappointment over the Free National Movement's decision to cut him out of the Killarney nomination, a constituency he has faithfully represented for nearly 20 years, calling the announcement by FNM leader Michael Pintard unexpected and deeply unfortunate. Minnis said he was blindsided by the move. He emphasized his long-standing commitment to the people of Killarney, saying, "I have always taken seriously my duty to Killarney and have served with dedication and pride." Minnis has represented the Killarney constituency since 2007. During his first term in office, he served as Minister of Health under the Free National Movement administration. Of course, that's under Hubert Ingram. After the FNM's defeat in 2012, the 2012 general election, Minnis rose to become party leader. He went on to lead the FNM to a sweeping victory in 2017 and became the Prime Minister. However, his popularity took a hit following widespread criticism of his administration's handling of in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and then later the COVID-19 pandemic. Gentlemen, so that basically was what Dr. Minnis had to say. Everybody was waiting for this big announcement because we know the fallout. Dr. Minnis, you ain't had to give us a history lesson. It wasn't necessary. You have to come out and tell the people where you stand. Pintard and stood on business and say, dude, you ain't running. Go sit down. We can try and make you, a little something. What are you doing, sir? You've been having meetings. You've been discussing with your candidates, your constituents. You are still hugely popular. You got that right. You served well, and nobody can argue with that. So what are you doing? What are you going to do instead of this little breadcrumbing? Don't lose the people's attention. Gentlemen, what you have to say?
Shanique, I think Dr. Minnis have waited, and I supported the move to wait for the leader of the Free National Movement to make his decision. Now that Honorable Michael Pintard has made his decision, I think it's time to pick up the pieces. Obviously, they're not going to run you in the next general election, so you won't be running if you decide to run as an FNM. So yes, I know you're a devoted, committed FNM, but it's time to make your decision, and you decide you're going to run. If you are going to run, then you need to make your decision. Let the people know. If not, get in line with the party and just have everybody kiss and hug up and move on. We got a general election that we're facing. The opposition need to be able to get beyond all of this bickering, all of this back and forth, all of these various factions. It's time the Dr. Minister announce, you're going to be running against the Free National Movement, or you're going to fall in line with what the party is doing. I think he spoke about his service to Killarney that he's not yet done in Killarney, and Killarney.
Right, he says there's still a lot that he needs to do, and he has done a lot. And nobody can argue with that.
I still believe that he has tremendous support in Killarney. I still believe that he has the wherewithal to hold on to that seat, even as an independent. Get on with the work of what you got to do as a member for Killarney, and continue, get campaigning. Let's get it done.
You know, we've been telling our viewers for the last several months that he was not going to get the nomination, that there was no way in hell that was going to happen again. I said it over repeatedly. The leaders of the FNM is in such a mindset that when they want to get rid of you, they try to do it at the lowest common factor to really make you look bad. Dr. Minnis now has to make up his mind whether he's going to run as an independent, or he's going to crawl his way back to the party or not be a candidate. The problem he faces is if he goes as an independent candidate, it will be extremely tough. Members normally vote for party, along party lines. The last MP to win a seat in Parliament as independent was the late Honourable Tennyson Wells. Not too many would have done so. It's going to be rough, but if anyone can do it, he'd probably stand a chance because he's very close to his people in that area. But in a three-way fight, a four-way fight, really, I think it'll be very difficult. You have to see what happens, but there's no way he's going to get a nomination. It's unfortunate that after holding the reign of power for some 4.5 years, your own persons who you've put in position of power has denied you a simple, basic tenet as being a candidate. Think of that. You know, you were the Prime Minister 4.5 short years ago, and today you can't get a seat for your own party that you headed as the government. It's just a disgraceful example of what should not occur in a democracy like the Bahamas. But that's how life is in this country. You know, you just eat him and spit him out. It's unfortunate, but you got to accept what it is. It's now time for him to make up his mind and let his constituency know where he's headed. He still has time. Election is until next September, so we'll set up transpire between now and January. That's when the election really going to kick off. People are really going to decide who they're going to vote for by January. The fever's going to be hot. They would know who they don't want anymore, and they'll move from there. So anything can happen. Pause, Lex.
Well, I don't know if you all saw, I'm not sure how recent it was, some op-ed or some letter to the editor by Andre Rollins. I mean, everybody just coming out the woodworks right now.
For a long time, Andre. Right?
Yes, he spoke up. He basically stepped up and said, Minnis, hi, CY. Meanwhile, Free National Movement Senator Darren Henfield denouncing, listen to these strong words, you all, let's go, guys. Former Prime Minister and FNM Member of Parliament for Kalani Minnis statement, deeming the actions regarding the way in which he understood he will not be renominated to be unconstitutional. In a statement written by Minnis, he posed the question to the electorate, if those seeking to lead cannot uphold their own party's constitution, how can they be trusted or entrusted to protect and administer the constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? Well, to that, Henfield says, based off of his knowledge, no wrongdoing was done. He says,
there's a process in the Free National Movement for the selection of candidates. We have followed that process as far as I'm aware and fully concerned. And the Free National Movement is rebuilding, reorganizing, reshaping itself and preparing to take the government to the Bahamas. The Bahamian people appreciate that the Free National Movement has been the government of the Bahamas on more than one occasion, right? We have governed with integrity, we have governed with transparency, we have governed with trust, and we will govern again in the same way that we have in the past. The Bahamian people will have an opportunity to look at what is being offered in the Progressive Liberal Party. I'm sure they don't wish to keep that, and an opportunity to move forward with a new leadership in the Free National Movement, with a new cohort of politicians who are prepared and ready to take the Bahamas to the level that we think it ought to be in the interest of the Bahamian people.
I find amusing with this.
Yes.
I'm not going to comment on Dr. Minnis'.
This reminds me of Brutus and Julius Caesar. Isn't it amazing that his former colleagues, I mean, he's what come and stab him in the chest over and over again. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I mean, these are people that he put in cabinet. You know?
Wow.
In his cabinet, he had a right to put anyone, and he chose them, and every single one stabbed him in the chest, except for his good buddy, the Minister of Works.
Who's that?
Desmond Bannister.
Mr. Bannister. The only honourable one, you know, the rest, and also Mr. Wells. But the rest of them, the dagger straight in the chest. But, you know.
I have a problem with what Senator Darren Henfield just said, because according to the leader, Mr. Pintard, he spoke to Dr. Minnis, asked him to step aside and ask him to present somebody that he think would be who his choice would be. Here is Senator Darren Henfield saying they have followed the nomination process and they're moving on. What nomination? That's not what the leader has conveyed to Dr. Minnis. That is not what the leader has conveyed to the public. So it sounds from Darren Henfield that a process have already been followed. They've already nominated somebody else. That's coming from him. I think you got to be careful when you're speaking publicly and not to confuse the Bahamian people with all of these. That's why it's best not to have so many people mouthing off at it. You know, everybody right now is trying to sing to get in there and to kiss up now.
You think it's kissing up?
There is some of it going on, because a while ago everybody was not saying nothing because they didn't know which way the pendulum was going to swing. Now that it's obvious which way the pendulum is going to swing, everybody's coming out bold and courageous. You know,
you ain't got too many friends. I tell you that, fighting for it.
That's the way people go.
I tell you, it's something that people.
God made him on a Sunday. Don't forget that.
But listen, it's something that people think you're yesterday's news,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, no. So Dr. Minix, you see all that right there, man. Stop beating around the bush. We
do what you gotta do.
We know you're an F&M. You know you've been an F&M.
Yes.
Yeah, no, more than likely you will be an F&M. But the point is, you got to make some decisions.
You're not running on the ticket. So.
Yeah, you're not running. They didn't say that. They didn't say do it. We don't want you.
If you want to find the good Bahamians, go in the graveyard. That's where they are. This crew here is very callous and very dangerous. So if you all want to take a walk down Nassau Street,
Pintado as the leader have a right to make the decision that he made. He's a leader. I didn't think he would do it. I didn't think he should do it. I don't think it's a fight that he need at this moment, but he has the right to make the decision that he made as party leader. He got to make interest in the best way that he think he can lead the party, and so that falls on him, and the decision has been made.
Gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to speak with a group of Bahamians who are making $2 an hour. You all heard that?
Not in this country.
$2 an hour, and Leslie, guess where?
That can't be.
Guess where, Leslie?
In China,
on
in the factories in China.
Great Stirrup Key. That's another cruise ship.
Yeah, right. Destination.
Cruise ship situation. They're making $2 an hour. I hope that they're.
What's the name of this cruise ship now? You don't want to say that.
Norwegian Cruise Lines.
You know, you always get scared. You know.
No, who's scared?
Okay. Last time I started raising hell, you back off and wouldn't get the name.
NCL, Norwegian Cruise Lines. We speak with those employees coming up.
$2 an hour. Two in the Bahamas. No.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry Commercial Vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon, flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
So you want a space But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by the Legends of Rake and Scrape, May 10th at The Farm, Marshall Road.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, GSC employees, 16 Bahamians in total, are tonight urging the Department of Labor to step in and help them get favorable job contracts. The group work on the Norwegian cruise line's key, Great Stirrup Key, and say they're paid slave wages and no one is coming to their aid. A letter has been sent to the Department of Labor. The group shared this letter with me. I saw it. I also reached out to the Labor Director, Howard Thompson, and got no response. I imagine he must have been distracted by today's events. Now, this evening, the workers join me from Great Stirrup Key. Good evening to each of you. Are you all there?
They're gone.
I have no idea. Sounds like...
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Listen, of course, they do not want to be seen because they don't want to be victimized. That's a real thing. But this group of Bahamians, in fact, let me give you the breakdown. So there are a total of 102 expats working on work permits on that island. 102.
Expats?
Expats, yes.
And how many Bahamians?
16.
Serious,
And there are 36 persons from Dominican Republic. So what is the issue, you all? I understand a number of things. First, let's start because Leslie in Ellington did not believe me when I say you all make $2 to $4 an hour. Is that true?
No.
Well, it is true. It is between $2 and to $4, nothing more than that, an hour.
Do what? What you said? I didn't hear you.
Are you all? Can you all hear?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Huh?
Okay. Please do not be shy. I'm not sure if there's competing sounds. Let's get this going because my time is limited. Let's speak or not at all.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let's jump right in. You are making $2, some people $4 an hour. Tell us, is this the working agreement that happened since the beginning?
This is basically what is on our contract, and we have discovered this after we reached out to the company asking why we haven't been compensated, working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays without no compensation. We were told that everything is included on our pay as per our contract. However, after thorough calculations, we discovered that that means looking at our wages, we're not making more than $4 an hour.
Meanwhile, you're working 10-hour days and 7 days a week.
This was, yes, up to 2023, December.
Are you a bona fide baby?
Leslie, let me ask the questions, please.
Okay.
That obviously, she's not perhaps naturalized. I don't know. Okay. But there are 16 of you Bahamians there. Yes? You are included, yes?
We are 102 expats as I speak.
Okay.
Under Bahamian work permit.
On Bahamian work permit. You are on Bahamian work permit?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, please, let's talk. Ma'am, don't be shy. You're speaking up because obviously the Bahamians want you to be their voice. I spoke with a number of them today, and they said you were the spokesperson. Let's talk, okay?
Okay.
Yes, and you all chime in. Please don't sit there like if you want this thing to change, you cannot expect the sole expat to be your voice.
Exactly.
Join in. You understand that? And let's relax. Now, you are working for Norwegian Cruise Lines. There are 16 Bahamians who are outnumbered by expats on work permits. You said that after speaking with the Department of Labor, there were some workers who actually got some sort of payment, but it wasn't the Bahamians, and it wasn't the majority of workers, yes?
Just to correct the information, basically we are a group of expat employees currently working on Great Steel of Crete, the private island owned by Norwegian Cruise Line. We've been working for 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays without no compensation. That's the actual information that we relayed.
That's $4 or $2 an hour.
We have reached out as a total of 102 expats working currently under Bahamian work permits.
Yes.
We have reached out to the Department of Labor after multiple times reaching out internally to the company, asking for fair compensation for working from 2023 December backwards, working these hours overtime with no compensation, asking for help so that the company can compensate us.
So
However,
am I to understand then that it's just the expats that are making this money? The Bahamians are making more?
Yes, I cannot confirm on what the Bahamians are making, but I can definitely confirm on what the expats
Now, just
are.
today, ma'am, wait a minute, you're saying something different live on this show. Just today, I spoke with Bahamians who somehow I got their numbers, and I spoke with them, and they said you would be the spokesperson. Are you now saying that the Bahamians are making more than the expats?
No, I'm not saying that, ma'am. Absolutely. However, if you're saying you spoke to the Bahamians who are currently having the same issue of being underpaid, that will be a different topic as to what we reach out today in regards.
Okay, now you reach out to the Department of Labor. What were you told?
We were told, the Department of Labor did reach out to the company 2 days before the event that took place in January 17, which was a groundbreaking breaking ceremony. And after the department got involved, that's when the company released a letter stating that they will compensate whoever is eligible no later than the 31st of March. However, we're still sitting here today. Nothing has happened except for confusion, no transparency, and we fear that they might even terminate as we are under contract.
You are under contract for 6 and 8 months at a time?
Between 6 and 8, yes, that's correct.
Yes.
6 and 8 years.
6 and 8 months, she said yes. 6 and 8 months at a time. Now, I reached out to the Department of Labor. I did not get a response. I know that this is quite troubling for you all. The point is, when you make $2 to $4 a day at 10 hours, I mean, that's not $20 a day.
That's criminal.
That's what it is. It's criminal.
Criminal.
That is not $20 a day. That is not $20 a day, is it? I know it was recently, your hours were recently shortened to now reflect 5-day weeks, 40-hour days.
Absolutely. That was January 2024 when GSC management was instructed to let us know that we're going to start working 8 hours a day, like 40 hours a week. But however, no adjustments were made on our contract. The only thing that we had was some members of corporate who visited end of January to come and explain what our new contracts are supposedly going to look like. However, they didn't carry a copy of a contract, and they told us that everything will remain the same in regards to our pay. The only difference is that we're going to be making more money because we're going to be paid for overtime if we've accumulated any. But we didn't see that. The only thing we saw was pay reduction. From February month end, they reducted our pay, and we've been reaching out, trying to get some explanation as to why, because that's not what they told us. We have yet to receive an appropriate answer from the company.
Are you employed by a job agency that is not based in the Bahamas?
Some of the crew members, yes, they are employed through an agency, but some are not.
So this is quite interesting. Again, I tried to reach out to the Department of Labor. I was unsuccessful, but it turns out they were having major issues today. Perhaps that explains why I did not get a response. But perhaps we can follow up on this and see exactly whatever the working conditions are that you all are subjected to on Great Stirrup Cay for Norwegian Cruise Lines. Is there anything else you would like to say? Is there a Bahamian next to you?
No, there's none. It's only expats with us right now.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say, perhaps to plead yourself here on live television to the Department of Labor?
Yes, we are reaching out, obviously, to you as the media as our last resort, hoping that your platform and influence may help shed light on our situation and prompt the necessary actions to ensure fair treatment for all expatriate workers. We will be grateful for the opportunity to actually be heard, because we never thought we will sit here right now with the media. We've reached out multiple times, given the company benefit of a doubt. However, what they have been doing it shows no interest at all that they're willing to redo the wrong and do the things right. They've always sent us these letters before their big events. Right now, we're sitting expecting their big launch for the ship tomorrow, Aqua, and we are supposed to put in smiles and given the best of our ability to actually perform our duties. But now the environment is very, very bitter, it's stressful. We cannot concentrate. We're in fear of getting terminated for obviously speaking out on whatever it is that they're currently doing. And we will appreciate if there will be an intervention into our situation.
Yes. Do you feel as though you are vulnerable and being taken advantage of because you are foreign?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you this, I will reach out again to the Director of Labor, and we will follow up. We will follow up, and I'll see what it is that his department and his team have to say about this. He is aware. No, I'm not sure who's the minister. Pia Glover-Roll.
That's Pia Glover-Roll.
Pia Glover-Roll. Yes, I will also speak with the minister. Because I reached out to the director, but I'll speak with the minister as well, and we will get you back to get some follow-up and something going.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you all for reaching out to Beyond the Headlines. I certainly will try my best. I mean, you are here legally, you're working, so therefore you should be treated in accordance with Bahamian labor laws. So thank you. Yes, so thank you very much, and we will follow this up.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Everyone with you.
Yes, thank you very much, and we'll follow this up. Again, those are workers on Great Stirrup Cay, Norwegian Cruise Lines. They are from, multiple countries around the world. They sent me the list, and they're making pittance. In fact, pittance, Leslie and Ellington.
It's criminal.
Pittance, and it's wrong to treat people that way. 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so therefore they're in no man's land basically. And so it's like either you take it or go sit down.
It's ungodly.
Yeah, it is. It is.
There's not a whole lot that I will say on this, but just a few weeks ago, the U.S. was speaking to us about the labor that we were getting from Cuba. This is a company that's operating out of the U.S. I don't know all of the truth and all of the veracity to it, but I think the Minister of Labor need to look into this, and the U.S. counterparts need to look into this like they was looking into the Cuban nurses here.
Yeah, which is a legit sort of exchange going on. But this here with these people, I will certainly bring it to the ministers.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Leslie, for even asking that. I didn't think about the minister. I was just thinking about the director.
Yeah, the minister.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thompson normally responds.
He does. He does as well. Yes, he does. I thank obviously Assistant Commissioner of Police Maureen O'Hines for being here this evening at the top of tonight's show. Leslie Miller and Ellington Ferguson here, of course, giving opinions, insight, and analysis on the big stories of the day. And then, of course, to those workers from Great Stirrup Cay for Norwegian Cruise Lines, all foreign, and they watched the show. They reached out. They called the station, saying that they feel this is their last resort and they want some help. And so I was happy to speak with them. I spoke with some Bahamians and I didn't quite get what was happening. But thank you all, and I will follow up. I give you my word on that. And I want to thank all of you this evening for tuning in. Certainly enjoyed having you along, and we look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.